Hello everyone, this is Spliced, and welcome to my very first Q&A. I have not made one since I started this channel, and I've been doing YouTube for like about 4 years now, which is pretty insane. Actually a little more than that. But I never did one of these videos where you guys just ask questions and I'll just answer them. I never did that, and I wanted to try it, so well, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to find out very soon. I have not read your questions yet, so this is going to be very interesting. With that being said, let's get right into it. First question comes from Gonzorio. What's your social security number? No. No. That's not going to happen, dude. Sorry. I'd like to, be able to live my life without being, robbed and stuff. That'd be great. Or identity theft and all that. You know how it is. Next question. Toxic TV asks, how old were you when you started gaming and what game was it? I started gaming like when I was 4, I think, like very, very young, and it was on, I think the first console I ever played was PlayStation 1, and I think the first games I was playing on there had to have been like, the Elmo's ABCs, and then, the second game, which was, around that range of like, for children, I played Twisted Metal 2, and that was, a really good game to play, as a little kid, especially when the parents aren't around and they were up and, upstairs making some food or whatever, and I just, they're like, all right, you're gonna play some Elbows ABCs, but really I just played Twisted Metal 2, because, it had a little bit more thrill than that game. Yeah, I grew up playing Twisted Metal 2 and, Call of Duty 1 and all these games and stuff like that. But, I was raised right, so it didn't really get to my head, and I didn't become, one of those people on Xbox that scream to people with really bad mics. VCG1 asks, are you really in love with Flux? I don't think we are in love. I just think that, it's a very strong bromance. You have when you have those feelings with someone, but you're not like, you're my boy. You're not really like, you're in my boy, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? That's just, yeah, anyways. V1 Riot asks, are you going to post any other games you like, or are you going to stick to For Honor? Either way, I don't mind what you think. So this is where, like, the mental blockers coming in. I'm very scrambled in my head on what to do on YouTube at this point. But I do have some interesting For Honor videos coming up, hopefully, in the beginning of this year at least. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to stay for Honor, and this has been like just so up and down all the time. Sometimes I'm just like, yeah, let's just go stay with Honor, let's gun it. And then other times I'm just like, man, I really don't want to play this game anymore. I want to move on, but there just really isn't any other avenues. And if I'm going to be honest, I don't really think I have that much of a personality to make, skits or, other kinds of things. I also don't have a camera for that. But, who knows? Anything is possible down the road. Maybe maybe I could move into a content creator that, makes a video per game, you know what I mean? Like Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or something like that. I don't know. Maybe you guys would be into that. Who knows? Anything's possible. But currently, I think we're just gonna stick with a little bit more For Honor content for now and see what happens. King Roach asks, if you could make a For Honor character, what would they be like? Weapon, faction, etc. Well, 100% it's gonna be a knight. It can't not be a knight. The weapon would have to be like a double-bladed axe, something like that. And it would be like raider size, so the giant long handle, or shaft, whatever you call it, and then you have the axe head that the raider has, but double it just on 2 sides. I think that'd be really sick. That the length doesn't have to be that long, it could be a little bit shorter, but don't make it the size of the Jormungandr. I think that was a big disappointment, because people are expecting a giant, metal heavy, maul, but unfortunately it just turned into like, one of those sledgehammer looking things. Anyways, that's about my idea. It would have to have really chunky armor, like a real heavy boy, not a hybrid like Lawbringer, even though Lawbringer is sick. Legs down, he's, he doesn't have anything. But like, the chest up that Lawbringer has, I love that. Bulkier shoulders, like more, maybe spikes, but more like, I'd say like metal pauldrons and stuff like that. Either way, that would be my choice. And yeah, that's exactly my ideal character to make. Rig asks, what do you have against beards? Also, what games are you looking forward to this year? Okay, so 2 questions, Rig. I'll answer the first one because I don't really have any games to look forward to. So, what do you have against beards? I have nothing against beards on other people. If you have a beard, like, you look sick in my eyes, but when I had a beard for the first time, like when I let that grow out in the end of 2019, I did it because my sister asked me to do it for her birthday. That was her birthday gift. We have very weird connection. Like, she lives at, like, in a different province, so we can't really like exchange gifts, on her birthday or Christmas that often. So instead, she had a great idea to tell me not to shave my beard all the way until Christmas. And I was like, well, I guess I can do that because that doesn't really require much. I just have to, ignore it for a few months. Ignoring it, I could not do. It got very itchy, very annoying, and I didn't feel, I didn't feel good with it on. I just didn't feel right. I know you can trim it, you can get it, taken care of and stuff like that, but even still, it's just having that protruding facial hair on your face, it just didn't, I'm not a fan of it. I like this look way better. I feel free. That's just all I have to say. It's just me, man. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. James Kelly said, why do you drink milk out of bags? Okay, here's why I drink bag milk, okay? Look at this. You open the fridge, you get your milk like this. It's in the pitcher, it's already done, but I'll show you how it's done anyways. You get out your bags like this, you put it right here. Very nice. So beautiful. Lovely. Pull out the bag in the bag milk. 1 sec, I'll put it down. There you go. Okay, so you see this? Look, beautiful. Primed and ready. Nice expiration date right there. It's good to go. A few more days. So you take that, then you open your drawer, you get your scissors right here. Put the scissors right there. Basically what you do is you take the bag and you put it in the pitcher, you take the scissors, chop, and then it has the airflow going through it, and it's very fresh milk, and then you have a handle right here to hold it like that. You go over here, you grab your cup, put it right there, and then you pour a delightful glass of milk. That's why I drink bag milk, guys. Because fuck cartons. Chara asks, can you play anyone other than Law Daddy? I'd love to see other characters getting some love, mainly the Conk and Roman. So no Conqueror. That's never going to happen. So don't ever ask that again. And yeah, well, Lawbringer is, my main, and I love playing Lawbringer all the time, even though he's gotten really boring lately. I will always stay true to him and always play him. But you might see some Centurion in the future. I'm just kind of waiting for that rework before I start really gunning on him. But yeah, I might play, my other mains, of course, but I'm not really going to branch out to characters that I don't play, unless if I'm challenged to do so in a series that's coming up that I can't really disclose too much information about. But a little sneak peek right there, little spoilers, but, teaser, whatever you want to call it. As a fellow Lawbringer main from Travis Humphrey, what is your opinion on his health bar? Do you prefer the ridiculous amount of health, or would it make more sense to give certain moves hyper armor in its stead? I don't think I'm the one to ask this, despite the fact that I play Lawbringer like crazy. I'm less about the mechanical aspects of the characters and more so the enjoyable aspect. And if you want to discuss how enjoyable he is, I'm all for talking about that. But if you want to talk about if he's balanced or not, I don't really like talking about balance in this game because I just am not the person for it. I play the game, but I don't play it to, a scientific point where I know everything about it. Ask the pros these questions. It's not for me. Sorry. When you baked those brownies a couple weeks ago from John Murray, did they happen to possess marijuana in them? Young Pizza Time asks, how many Star Wars movies have you watched, and what is your favorite? I have watched all the Star Wars movies except for the last Star Wars movie, which was the Jedi Awakens or something like that. The Rise of Skywalker. I did not watch that one. My favorite one would have to be probably Revenge of the Sith. I know that's controversial because people are like, oh, the prequels are bad or everything, but honestly, they weren't that bad. If you go back now and actually watch them critically, you know, there are some things that stick out that you're just like, oh, that's really dumb. But at the same time, there is some kind of really dumb things about the pre-sequel things, the first ones that came out, the 4 to 6. Like example, Yoda riding Luke Skywalker as a backpack. What the hell is that? Okay, like it's really stupid. But either way, you know, every one of those movies have their up and downs. But the Disney versions are definitely not. They're just not good in my opinion. They're just not. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Tom John asks, do you think it will ever be possible to have a game about melee combat that doesn't have exploitable mechanics? Yeah, as long as I don't play it. Urthire asks, how many kids you got? None. Dead Meme asks, what's the video that you are most proud of? Oh boy, that's a hard one. Well, there's a lot of Halo videos I'm pretty proud of, but there's also a lot of For Honor videos, obviously, I'm pretty proud of. And, you know, the more recent you look back, the more you're more proud of the more recent ones at first, but then when you look real back at your old channel. So I probably would say I'm most proud of, you know, one of the anti-gank compilations, like Anti-Gank 12, would probably be my favorite one out of the whole series. But out of all the videos I made, oh boy, I don't even know if I can... I don't know. There's too many to think of. There's a lot of Halo ones that I really enjoyed making, and it's all about like the time that I made those videos. So yeah, but situationally, I'd have to say probably one of the anti-gank videos was really like when I really enjoyed making anti-gank videos, you know, on those series and stuff like that. I'm looking into getting back into something similar to that. Maybe something in the future will come back, we'll see. Nova Wolf asks, what are some of your long-term life goals you'd like to achieve, like a place you've always wanted to visit, or something you'd love to buy for yourself down the line, like a dream car? Yeah, I actually do have somewhat of a life, like, thought that I had in the future. It's definitely way down the line, so I don't plan on getting it anytime soon, or maybe even ever. But I do plan on living, you know, I don't really plan on living in a big house. I'm not really a fan of, you know, the mansions and stuff like that, because I mostly just sit in my room for the most part. So as long as I have, you know, decent sized house, could be, you know, just a regular family house, like 3 bedrooms, etc., whatever, that'd be fine with me. Maybe it'll get bigger down the road, maybe I'll change my mind, but that's just pretty much for my house. I don't really think about that much. But dream car wise, it would be probably the Lotus Elise 2013 edition or 2008. They're not really the most efficient cars, and they don't really have the best emissions and everything like that, but it looks cool, and that's all I really care about. I'll deal with everything else after. But I also plan on having like 2 dogs. I want to have 2 dogs and not 1. The reason why is because, like, if you're gonna have 1 dog, I think it's best to have another one, so then they can be together when you're not there and they can play. Of course, that could cause problems. They could have fights and stuff, but if you train them well, I think, you know, they'll be good boys, and you can hug them and love them, and there'll be more than one that you can hug and love, you know? You get bored of one, and then you have the other one, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, like, maybe 2 pugs, something like that, or maybe, you know, two small dogs. I've had big dogs my whole life, so I don't think I'm gonna go for another big dog, but who knows? JF Gerard asks, question for the Q&A video, Spliced is back, let's go. Oh wow, 4 questions. Let me pick one out of these 4. So the first one is, what were you doing those 3 weeks? As you may know, at the very end of 2019, I stopped uploading for 3 weeks. 2, where do you work as a job right now? And 3, which game are you looking forward to make new content on your channel? 4, will you play Apex Legends again? I play mainly that game. Okay, so I will choose... I'll choose number 4 because I think the first 3 questions will come up later on. Will you play Apex Legends again? I don't think I'm going to be going back to Apex Legends. That was a I'd say not so much a mistake, but it was just something that I was really confused at the time on what I wanted to do and what I thought was right. I knew I was bored of For Honor, but leaving For Honor at the time I don't think was the right time, because I kind of just jumped the shark, so to say. Like, you know, I didn't even really want to move to Apex Legends. I actually wanted to move to a different game that was delayed that year, but then Apex Legends showed up and I was like, oh, I still want to leave For Honor, so I guess I'll just join this. And it didn't really work out in my head. I wasn't really enjoying making the content at all. Like right out of the get-go, I didn't like making the content. So I kind of just abandoned it, and I was like, let's go back to For Honor and see what happens. So that's just basically what happened, and there's not really much else to say there. Dark Moon Psych asks, who or what inspired you to be a content creator? Okay, so this one is more, this is going to be a more generic answer, but as you can tell, I'm sitting in one of the chairs that is by one of the people that is just the biggest influence of my life, and his name is PewDiePie. Obviously, everyone knows about him, but it impacted me more in a different way compared to most. I subscribed to him back when he had like 100,000 subscribers. He was doing Amnesia content, and this was back in high school. So I started sharing it to all my friends, like, look at this guy, he's funny, he's great. But on a different level, whenever I'd come home, I'd always watch him, and just like video after video, I just always like, I don't think I've missed a single video to this day that PewDiePie has uploaded, which is, you know, it's not really the most healthiest thing on the planet, but it's just, I don't know, there's something about the way he went about YouTube that was everything that I wanted to be. He was doing everything his way, and he wasn't submitting to, you know, corporate greed or you know, like fans like demanding what he should do. Like fans at certain points were telling him, you should only upload horror games or we're gonna subscribe, and he's just like, no, I'm gonna do what I want. And I thought that was really awesome. And then there's all these other controversies he's been through, and I know a lot. I just, either way, he was the biggest inspiration for me doing YouTube. But I've always wanted to do YouTube even before he started making videos. Ever since, like, I think 2007 is when I decided I wanted to make videos on YouTube, but I never really got around to it until let's say like 2011, 2010 is when I started uploading on other channels. But like, you know, the classic of Smosh with Mortal Kombat, like those things was like the first few videos I watched in 2005. I watched a little bit of Shane Dawson back when he was in his edgy state with, you know, her, like the Shaquisha, like whatever that persona was. I don't remember what it was. He was like standing in front of green screens and stuff like that, and I remember watching those videos and I thought they were pretty funny. And then there was, like, you know, Ray William Johnson, of course, everyone watched him, but I wasn't really inspired by him or anything. I just kind of watched him. And there's a few other people that came along the line, like Ego Raptor. I was watching him in Newgrounds, and then when he moved to YouTube, I started watching him there. Then he started doing Game Grumps, and I started watching Game Grumps, and I learned about JonTron, and, you know, the list goes on, and then more and more people down the line. But point is like PewDiePie is definitely the number one person, and then, you know, everyone else follows suit, Markiplier and everyone else, etc., etc. Glorious Lottie asks, can I be in it? Yep. Regular 16 asks, if you could put all 60 reps on your Lawbringer on another character, who would it be? It's 70 reps, get it right. And I would probably put it into Warden, because Warden is, yeah, he's pretty cool. I like him. Caleb P asks, what is the story with you and Ubisoft? Oh boy. Should I open up this can of worms? This is something. Okay, let's explain this for a second. So I'm going to keep it brief. I'm not going to go really into depth about this, but for those who do not know, I did actually have a little bit of a falling out with Ubisoft. And I think we're on good terms now, but basically, if you don't know, I was on their live stream one time when they did the season 5 reveal event for the reworks. with the Apollyon's legacy and all that stuff. And that was like, I'd say that was peak of my For Honor hype, because they invited me down and it was pretty awesome, and I was in a creator segment. I have a video about it. I'll link it in the description for you guys to check out if you guys are interested. But basically, I broke NDA, and in the announcements of my Discord, I kind of like teased one of the events that was coming out, like one night, like the night before, not like a day before, like right when I went to bed at like 12 or something, and I posted that. And I woke up to just a storm of messages. Like some UB staff started messaging me, and it was not fun. It was a really bad time, and I felt really bad. And yeah, it was just not a good time. But slowly over time, I remedied with the staff, and I kept true to making good content and not having any problems with them. And it looks like we're on good terms now. So that's the brief story. I'm not gonna go into details, but yeah, this is a little thing that most people don't know about, and I got really depressed because of it. Dan V asks, why do milk come in bags? Because if you don't put milk in bags, what's the point? Milk are in bags in the beginning, the cow. Then you put them into bags to keep the tradition of milk being in bags. You know what I mean? You gotta hold true. If you don't keep it in the bag, then what's the point? Uncle Crab asks, how old are you? I am 23, and my birthday is sometime this year. Garnier asks, I got a question for your Q&A. Why don't you keep the VODs of your YouTube channels, or the VODs of your YouTube live streams? They could be watched later by people that may have missed the live stream. So this one is more of like, I want to keep my channel as clean as possible and more video focused, because mainly I'm more about videos and less about the streams. The streams are for the people that get to the stream. If you get to the stream, then you get to watch it live. I think that's more fair. If you really want to see the live streams, then show up when I go live. And I think that's kind of on me as well, that I'm not making a schedule for it, but also I'm not really considering myself a live streamer, which is why I kind of do it randomly. Don't really think take it too bad, because like my live streams are not super enthusiastic or special. It's just a little extra content for people who want to keep watching me. I try to do a video and then a live stream right after, so there's like different kinds of content. If you don't want to watch the edited video, you can come watch the unedited content and ask me questions and talk to me there. So it's just two different kind of mediums. I kind of like keep them separate. Will Marsden asked, did you tell all your family you were starting YouTube? If so, what do they think now? No, I never told anyone that I was starting YouTube. I just did it because I wanted to, and my family was very flexible on what I wanted to do. They would support whatever I wanted to. They always just reminded me that it's hard work that gets the reward, and I kept that in mind. But I also wanted to make sure that my YouTube was as creative as it could be, without doing gift card giveaways and doing the sellout version of what most YouTubers do. There will be times that I do maybe do some sponsorships here and there, but it would not be without the interest of my audience in mind. But that's not the point of the question. No, when they found out, it wasn't really like finding out. They were just like, so what are you doing? And I'm just like, oh, look at this video I just made on my channel. I'm uploading videos. Look how many subscribers I got this time. And they're like, oh, cool, that's cool. It was only when I started getting a decent amount of subscribers and I actually was able to start paying the bills that they started asking like how it was possible. To then I just explained it to them as simply as I could, and that was that. It wasn't really it's not like me coming out or anything. It wasn't really hard to do. I just kind of did it because I wanted to. And there you go. It looks like I got every single question as much as I could. Thank you guys for your questions. I appreciate it. It was a lot more than I expected. I didn't really expect that many people to be that interested, but there you go. I hope you guys got the answers you're looking for. And maybe I'll do more of these in the future. Maybe we'll do, more kind of, maybe I'll try to push some skits or something like that. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.